In a previous life, GC used to read promos, right?
No.
Yeah.
Read promos?
I heard you do it.
For what?
On
what?
Greenie.
Oh, yeah.
I heard you do it.
Yeah, those weren't promos. That was like movie lines.
You never did any promos?
Nah.
Oh, my bad.
That was just Greenie hazing me, man.
Okay. He knew you were on the way out. He wanted to give you a little trouble.
Exactly, yeah.
You try saying that. Eligibility restrictions
apply.
Yeah.
Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's a lot to say.
Yeah.
Eligibility restrictions apply.
Minimum $5 deposit.
Yeah. And then also the free for millions, bit of a tongue twister as well. I mean, I'll get there.
We got a while for you to get it down.
Yeah, I mean 3 years, right?
Yep.
3-4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Oh, 3 years, not 3-4 years.
Let's not get crazy. What a great show it has been.
Oh man, fantastic.
A lot to digest. Are you a pro wrestling fan?
No, you've asked me this before.
Okay, but now you're into Survivor Series.
I did know who Becky Lynch was.
Okay.
I'm a confirmed Becky Lynch fan now. After that,
you're invested.
I mean, she's my favorite wrestler now.
Do you think she was working me?
Ones I know. Not like in what way?
Oh, working is a pro wrestling term where like someone's kayfabing you, where someone's like, trying to get you to believe that there's heat, that there's this thing.
Oh, between her and Flair.
Yeah. Do you think she was working me, or do you think
she could be? Like, absolutely.
It felt pretty damn real.
A lot of drama. Like, a lot of drama.
Felt pretty damn authentic to me. I don't know what the sheets are saying right now. I don't know what the sites are saying.
I don't think she was working you.
You don't think? I don't think so. But I'm wondering what people are saying.
I don't know. I don't know what the people are saying.
If we had Mr. Monday Afternoon here, New York Rick, he would tell us, what the social medias are saying. But alas, we don't have him here. We have you here, and you're trying to get back on track after your miserable couple weeks.
Miserable.
And so this week it's just UFC.
Just UFC. We just got one card. Take us into the Thanksgiving weekend. You get the week off for the Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah. We need to go in with a winning.
Well, you got to bet on Triad, the Triller event, with the triangle ring.
Yeah, the triangle ring. Now, is there lines out for that?
Oh, I don't know. I doubt it, but
Yeah, I don't see myself. I'm going to give thanks, enjoy my family. I think we're going to take the week off. Unless there's LFA or Ryzen. What are you always trying to push on me? One championship.
Right.
Something like that. But yeah, we're feeling good, man. The positive energy's flowing from the show. I think we can. I think we can get it back on track.
Allen, I mean, a real eclectic mix of
Arnold
characters.
Allen. He's the man. Yeah, I mean the Jorge thing.
Yeah, I mean, completely.
The internet was all time.
Yeah, it was pretty damn bad. But anyway, we move on. We move forward. What do we got? Tell us. What are our picks?
All right, man. We got
you, and just to confirm, you didn't steal these from anyone, right? These are all your picks officially.
No, see now when I'm on the web, I'm on message boards. I'm doing my research and everything. If I see a pick, I shield my eyes. I'm like, got to make sure I'm not stealing it from anyone here, even though there's only 11, 12 fights on the card. So you're bound to have similar picks to people at some point. But it is what it is. So yeah, I got 4 singles for you and 2 parlays, 2 legs apiece. Here we go. Let's start it off with the first one. Soriano versus NUERDANBIEKE. I'm going to take this one. Fight does not go the distance at -120. I just think there's value in this line based on how these guys lose. 11 of their combined 14 losses have come by finish, so they're susceptible to being finished. And on the flip side, they're not strangers to finishing people as well. Sean Soriano, win or lose, 10 of his last 11 fights have not gone the distance, 6-5 in those fights. On the other side, NUERDANBIEKE, 11 of his last 14 fights have not gone the distance. He's 10-4 in those fights. It's 2 guys that can go out there and get finishes, can go out and also be finished. And it's almost even money. I'm willing to take the shot on this one, not going the 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're a little bit more prop heavy this week as opposed to just picking the outright winners of fights. Because
I feel like not going the distance is such a tricky one.
It is. It can be tricky, but sometimes it's just
so hard.
Sometimes it's
why are you making life
easy.
More hard for yourself?
Well, that's the difficult thing. We
15
always
minutes.
Yes, we always find out. Like it's when you take the outright winner. Oh man, the prop is the one that seems so easy, and it's like why didn't I just take the prop? And then I'll take this prop, and they'll have 2 minutes left, and one of them will be dominating. I'll be like, why didn't I just take the fighter? Why do I ever take props?
So much easier.
It's always the flip side. I mean, or one of them goes out and they just get the finish, and we move on with it.
I mean, I would stay away from it if I were you, but I think that's what.
Well, that's the good news. You're not me.
Yeah. All right. Fair.
No one's got to take these picks but me.
That's true.
That's what I always try to remind everyone. So yeah, we move on to the next one. Our second single is another fight to not go the distance. We got Terrence McKinney going in against Fares ZIAM. I mean, the reason I'm taking this one is for Terrence T-Rex. He's why I'm making the pick. 14 fights, 14 finishes, win or lose. Last 5 fights have lasted an average of 34 seconds. He hasn't made it longer than 72 seconds in any of those fights. He's only been out of the first round twice in his entire career. Into the third round once, and it only lasted 43 seconds into the third round. I mean, he's going to come out. He's going to immediately be aggressive. He's going to try and dictate the tempo of the fight. And he's going to be looking for that finish right from the jump, whether it be punches, kicks, or he might use that wrestling, try and get a choke in. He's actually got more submissions than he does KOs. A lot of people just know him for these super early KOs. But then on the flip side, we've seen ZIAM, man. He's been handled on the ground before. He's been taken down in every one of his UFC fights. Got controlled for over 10 minutes against Don Madge. So regardless of what happens, I think there are paths there for Terrence McKinney to get the win and get this one inside the distance. And if he doesn't, his aggressiveness, it could cost him his gas tank. We don't really know what he looks like outside the first round. And it could cause him to get sloppy, like we saw with that flying knee KO that Sean Woodson landed on him. And despite ZIAM, he's got 3 decisions in the UFC, but prior to joining the roster, 11 of his 12 fights did not go the distance. So I like this fight at -185. The line's already on the move. I like it to not go the distance here.
McKinney has a great story. The man has been through a hell of a lot, and also tweeted out something. I failed to bring it up in the Chiesa interview. Yeah, you could put it up there. Thank you for that. Chiesa's, when they're in the car, it throws me off. I have to admit, when they're in the car, it's a weird thing. It's like the internet's a little shoddy, so I get all thrown off. Like when they, like Joanne's interview, her internet was fantastic. This is the tweet that I'm referring to. About them being on the same card, and he was his wrestling coach. This tweet has gone viral. So a really cool moment. I wanted to know why Terrence was shoving a hot dog in Chiesa's.
I know you didn't get the ask in. I was wondering as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was thrown off. I got to be honest.
He was busy. He was in the car.
He's in, he's out.
Yeah.
Come on.
He kept going under bridges. I didn't know there were so many bridges in Vegas.
Yeah, it's weird. Like when nothing gets me more excited. I see Joanne show up and like it's crystal clear. This is great. Who was last week? On Monday, someone came on and their internet was just fantastic. I forget. And then of course you get the car, you get the Malky situation.
Arnold held
strong in the car. Yeah, he did.
I couldn't tell if that was snow or something.
And there was a part of me that was like, "Oh, come on, Arnold! Like, did you have to do this in the car?" But then I find out that he was like delivering groceries to his parents who had COVID, and I was like, "Okay, man, now I feel like an asshole for even thinking about this." In any event, please continue.
Yeah, sure. Third single, Adrian Yanez inside the distance at -115 over Davey Grant. I mean, this is just going to be a fantastic fight. I cannot wait for this one. One of the ones I'm most excited for on the card. Yanez, dude, he's just such a clean technical striker, fantastic counterpuncher. We've seen him get finishes that way many times. Very fast hands. He's got huge knockout power. He's also got a pretty solid chin. We saw him in his last fight against Randy Costa, getting beat up pretty bad in the first round before finishing him in the second. But on the flip side, one concern here, obviously, Davey Grant, he's never been knocked out, so clearly he's got a pretty good chin himself. But this fight might be his toughest test from a knockout potential. Martinez and Vera, he's obviously fought before, which were tough as well. But he also absorbed a ton of damage in that Marlon Vera fight back in June, especially in that third round. I'm really surprised that he didn't go out in that one. But this could be the fight that gets him out. With Grant's improved striking, that big left hook, the overhand left. I think he'll give Yanez the battle on the feet that he wants. Plus Yanez, he's stuffed every takedown attempt that he's seen in the UFC, even if Grant does try to go there. So if this fight stays on the feet, which I think it will, I think Yanez is going to have the boxing advantage. I think he's going to have the speed advantage. He's 8 years younger than Davey Grant. And I just think Yanez is going to use his patience. He's going to find that big counter that we've seen him find and actually get the finish against Davey Grant.
Ooh.
I'm saying all this, of course, Davey Grant's chin could just hold up. He could last 15 minutes, but
tough guy.
Super tough guy, durable. No matter what happens, I do think this is going to be one of the sickest fights on the card.
I agree as well. A lot of people high on Yanez.
Yeah, he's an exciting prospect, man. It's going to be fun to see. All right, fourth and final single.
Okay.
YAHYA versus Kang Young Ko. I'm going to take this one over 2.5 rounds at -130.
I like it.
At first, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you like it. At first glance, if you look at these guys' records, a lot of submission for both of these guys. But Kang, 7 of the last 9 of his fights dating back to 2013 have gone over the 2.5 rounds. YAHYA, 7 of his last 10, dating back to 2015, have gone over the 2.5 rounds. Sometimes they get submissions and sometimes they get them late. Neither guys have ever been finished in a UFC fight, and it's been a long time, man. 27 combined UFC fights between the two. Wow. Neither have ever been finished while they've been in the UFC. And when either of them does win by finish, it is almost always by submission. YAHYA, 21 wins by finish, 21 wins by submission. KANG, 13 wins by finish, 11 of those by submission. On the other hand, both have only been submitted once in their careers. KANG, it was back in 2011. YAHYA, all the way back in 2006. I just think these are two high-level grapplers and wrestlers who will spend a lot of time on the ground and probably won't be able to get the submission in because of the other one's skill set. And if it does stay standing, I don't think either really has a ton of KO power. I just can't imagine YAHYA wants to keep this fight on the feet, especially with the size and striking advantage that KANG presents. So I think we see the over 2.5 rounds here, maybe something late, but hopefully we get to the 12.5-minute mark and cash this ticket.
All right. Yeah, 15 minutes. Our friend Jedi loves to talk about how the women's fights always go over the over. That's his thing. You know that?
Wow. You must have been reading my notes.
Okay, I did not.
A Google Doc with you or something?
Okay.
I will reference Jedi.
Oh, wow. Okay. He loves that. He loves
that.
All right.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, those are the 4 singles. I think we got the recap here. There they all are. Take a nice look.
Anyone on the main card here?
McKinney.
Okay.
And YANEZ. And YAHYA Kyung Ho. Just the one that isn't on the main
Everyone's on the main card except for one. Okay.
Yes. All right, so now we got parlays.
All right.
We got 2 parlays for you. We'll start with parlay number 1, Luana Pinheiro, -290 over Sam Hughes. Both these fights have seen super heavy line movement. I took these on Monday. Please don't come for my neck about the lines. If you want to see the ticket, I got the ticket. Yeah. Okay, but yeah. So Pinheiro, she's obviously lethal. Besides the Randa Marcos fight, the DQ there, which she was dominating before the DQ, 6 straight fights, first round finishes. She's going to come out aggressive. She does in every single fight. And if Sam Hughes isn't careful, she may end up getting finished as well. She's only got a 40% striking defense. She gets hit with almost 7 strikes per minute through her first 2 fights in the UFC. She was severely outstruck by Loma Lookboonmee and Tisha Torres. And if she does try to get it to the ground or push it up against the cage and get in the clinch like we've seen her do in the past, she'll likely find herself in trouble there as well. Pinheiro, judo black belt, BJJ brown belt. She'll have the advantage there, in my opinion, as well. 5 takedowns in 4 minutes against Randa Marcos, and Hughes taken down 4 times against Loma Lookboonmee, who isn't necessarily known for her takedowns. So I just think Luana, she's got the advantage in almost every area of the fight. I suppose my one concern is her aggressiveness kills her gas tank, and she loses the last 2 rounds and loses by decision. That's kind of the worst case scenario, but I think she's able to get it done here. And then the second one, Taila Santos. Unfortunate, I have to fade the newly named Joanne Wood. She was great on the show earlier. But Santos, she's going to have the reach advantage. She's going to have the power advantage. Joanne, she's obviously going to be able to throw much more volume. According to the UFC record book, she lands 7.36 strikes per minute. That is good enough for most all time in the women's flyweight division. But with that being said, as much as she lands, she's only got 1 KO in her UFC career, so not a ton of power behind those punches. On the other hand, Taila Santos, she's never been finished, and she has a 65% striking defense. She's outstruck every one of her opponents in the UFC. She's also going to have a massive grappling advantage in this one. She's logged the takedown in every single one of her UFC fights, 5 against Roxanne, 5 against Molly McCann. She's got an 86% takedown accuracy, which is just, that's just absurd. It's a smaller sample size, but still, if she can keep that up, it'll be one of the greatest ever. Obviously, as she fights tougher opponents, that'll be tougher to do, but she's usually able to find success when she does go for the takedown. She's got 31 minutes and 29 seconds of control time in her last 4 fights. That is over 52%. She was able to control Jillian Robertson, who thrives, depends on the control time, for 12 minutes, 47 seconds of a 15-minute fight. I just think Santos should be able to do enough on the feet and get this to the ground and be able to grind her way to a decision win. So those 2 will pay out at -124.
Look at that breakdown. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, we got statistical there. You threw
out the 86%, you threw out this and that. That was, I feel like, if I may, I feel like you're being questioned. Your back is against the wall. People are wondering, should you be here? Why should I listen to you? Why should I pay attention to you? And you're having a bit of a y'all must have forgot moment as well.
Listen, back is against the wall. Yeah. Anything can happen this weekend.
People are questioning you.
Rightfully so.
I don't think it's rightfully so.
Oh, listen,
It's a very "what have you done for me lately" sport, as Michael Chiesa said himself.
yes.
So
Yes, from anyone. The commenters when Jorge Masvidal's on. I mean,
yeah.
talking about he's a bum.
I know, it's crazy, right?
Everyone loved
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
A year ago, he was the people's champ.
Right.
Back's against the wall, though. I think we're gonna get it done this weekend. Though I got good energy. You know what? For Movember, if we win all the winnings straight to Movember, I'm gonna get karma back on my side.
You're going to be great.
I lost the karma with the cheapskate mode. That would really kill us. But we still got one more parlay to break down.
All right, here we go.
2 legs, co-main event, the welterweights. Is this the people's main event? Chiesa Brady?
I think so.
So you said people's main event is your term.
I did say that. Yeah, what, are you questioning me?
I did question you. I did some digging.
Oh.
Go on Urban Dictionary and I find this.
Yeah?
The people's main event.
What does it say?
A fight on a fight card that garners significant attention from the general fight community because its backstory imbues with a value that generally overshadows the co-main and main event. It is the fight people want to see regardless of what else is on this card. This phrase is generally used by MMA reporters, New York Rick and Ariel
Get out of here, New York Rick.
on the MMA Hour.
What?
New York Rick. So what fight do you believe should have been the people's main event on UFC Fight Night 76? Ariel Helwani, Ben Rothwell versus Stipe Miocic, assuming the injury bug did strike again. They used you for context, too. This was the first thing that came up when I typed in people's main event on Google.
This is me just trying to get a good look. Is this... Wait a second. Is this confirmation?
I mean, I would say it is. That was put in 2015.
Listen, as I've told you guys before, let me just get a little closer.
It's like the blink from hell.
As I've told you guys before, if there's one truth teller in this business, it's me, okay? If there's one truth teller, if there's one guy who's going to shoot straight with you, it's me. Now, I don't love the fact that they said MMA reporters Ariel Helwani and New York Rick, because if I'm being honest, I don't even know if he'd call himself a reporter, okay? Now, they said it's generally used. What they should say, and I don't know if, is Urban Dictionary the kind of thing that you can like go in and edit? Someone needs to edit. It's not generally used. It originated on my program. And so I deserve all the royalties. I hear them dropping it on the freaking broadcast. And again, I love it because they won't put my tweets up. They won't acknowledge my presence, but the influence is there. Roba, people's main event, you know. DC's talking about a lot of people say this and that. Well, we all know he only listens to one person, and that's me. You understand? And so thank you for doing that. Thank you.
I will give credit where credit is due to anyone. I was actually looking to bust you when I went on Google.
Dun, 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 dun,
I can actually order a people's main event mug that has the entire...
No way. What? What are you talking about?
That's what Urban Dictionary does, yeah.
They sell the stuff?
I'm looking at it
whack.
right now.
I should be getting a percentage of that.
The people's main event, and then on the back...
Come.
I wish I had this picture to put on the screen.
What is it? What is it?
On the back, it's the entire definition that I just read.
With my name?
This phrase is generally used by MMA reporters in New York Rick and Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour.
That is amazing. Let me put my hat on. This is my hat. This is when I have a moment, right? I put this hat on. Let me put this on properly. I don't really need to have the headphones on, if I'm being honest. This is me rocking my Virna Janjiroba hat. Listen. Here it is.
Does this guy look like he'd lie about the people's main event?
Does this guy look like he'd lie about the people's main event? I originated this. And by the way, on the house UFC, on the house Bellator, you can all use it for free, okay? On the house. A little acknowledgement would be nice from time to time, if I'm being honest, but on the house, go ahead and use it. I came up with that phrase. You will never find another reference of the people's main event prior to, I think it was the Conor Brimage fight, right up there, above my shoulder. You will never find another reference to that phrase on any type of show, any type of broadcast, any type of platform, any type of website, nothing. People's main event. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Yeah, so I guess you invented it in 2013. They started giving you credit in 2015.
Well, no one actually gives me credit, is the thing.
Well, Urban Dictionary does. It's the only definition for people's main event. Wow, we've gained 2 likes in the matter of the last minute.
What does that mean? You get likes on Urban Dictionary?
There's 7 likes and 2 downvotes. So there are 2 people out there who say you did not come up with this.
Get the hell. Who are those people?
We got 8.
Where do they come from? The 702?
I don't know. Maybe all downvoted. Who knows? I was looking to foil you there. All right,
back on track.
Yeah, right back on track. Parlay. Second parlay. This is a crazy prop, courtesy of our friends over at DraftKings. There it is. They got all the props in the world on this one. So this is Sean Brady and Michael Chiesa ends by either submission or decision at -250. I mean, I was getting deep in the mud on these props yesterday on DraftKings and was able to find this little gem. At -250, I think it's a good price. Brady undefeated. He's obviously never been finished. How does he win? 11 of his 14 wins coming by submission or decision, including 7 of his last 8. On the flip side, Chiesa, how does he lose? 4 of his 5 losses by submission. Only 1 TKO, and that was by a cut all the way back in 2014. How does he win? If it's finished, it's almost always going to be by submission. Since the Ultimate Fighter finale against Al Iaquinta, 16 fights. Win or lose, 10 finished by submission, 5 by decision, and 1 by that cut that I just mentioned. I just don't see a huge striking threat from Chiesa to put Brady out. I mean, he lands and absorbs less than 2 strikes per minute. Over his UFC career, his fights don't stay on the feet typically. I mean, he's averaging 4 successful takedowns in each of his last 5 fights. Chiesa's obviously going to rely on that wrestling, so I do think this fight ends up on the ground. Brady, obviously at Renzo Gracie in Philly, BJJ black belt under Daniel Gracie. I think the way it finishes is going to be by sub or decision. I mean, we heard Chiesa earlier. He said it on the show. He's gonna be looking for that sub. He wants to prove himself. So I think that is how it ends. And I'm saying all of this right now, and they're just going to exchange haymakers on the feet for 13 minutes, and then someone's going to get KO'd. But hopefully that doesn't happen, and hopefully we get to the last leg, which is Ketlin Vieira, Miesha Tate, over 2.5 rounds.
The Jedi pick.
Yeah. Listen, man, I'm not going to be shocked if this one goes all 25, but our boy, Jedi Goodman, he dropped a nice stat last weekend. The Andrea Lee-Cynthia Cavillo fight, it snapped an 11-fight streak of women's fights going over 2.5 rounds. We got right back on track with Felicia Spencer and Leah Letson. That one went over 2.5. To the actual fight itself, since entering the UFC, Tate's fights have gone over the 2.5, 7 of the 10 times, and 2 of the times that it didn't, it was a third-round finish, so they almost got there. And the one time that, she got finished in the first round, it was against Amanda Nunes. Ketlin Vieira, no offense to her, but she is not Amanda Nunes. And for Vieira, 5 of her 7 UFC fights have gone the distance. She's only been finished once in her career. She's also likely going to try and take this to the ground if Miesha doesn't. She's gotten a takedown in all but one of her fights. I think they'll spend some time on the ground. Both land less than 3 strikes per minute, so there's really not a huge knockout threat from either of them. And, unless something fluky happens, I think we'll make it halfway through this fight to hopefully cash us this ticket at -111.
Yeah, watch Miesha win via anaconda choke in the first round.
Yes. I mean, anything can happen after this song, Arce. I needed 44 more seconds last week and didn't get it. Yeah. They were looking so good to the head kick. So yeah, shout out to DraftKings with that crazy prop. Also, I don't know if you saw this. Shout out to DraftKings giving away air fryers.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, look at this.
Look at this.
Air fryers of all things.
Do you think that
like is that the most major coincidence ever, or did they see what we do over here?
Of course it's not a coincidence.
It's a people's main event.
I mean, that's a people's main event pick right there.
They're giving away 15 of them too. They're calling me out. They're like, you're never going to get an air fryer from this schmuck. He's never going to hit the air fryer parlay. We'll give out 15 of them.
What are the chances?
Right? Like, what?
Wait, is that like a betting thing? The air fryer?
Dude, the only reason we even came up with that is because that kid, Rohan, said that he bought an air fryer with his winnings from our picks. Like,
that is really weird.
Yeah.
I would love to sit here and say, like, I feel like there's got to be a way that we can confirm whether or not this is a nod to our show. Like, I think we have
they sponsor the show. We got the giant D with the crown just to your left there.
Yeah, it's right over there. It's brand new. It actually lights up. Should I turn it on?
I'd like to see it turned on. You promised how bright.
Is it plugged in? I don't think it's plugged in.
Yeah, I'm not set design. I can't speak for that.
It uses batteries.
Oh, wait, let me see. No, I don't think it does.
Well, we might as well just give up on it. Oh my God. Man, these Wednesday shows really get off the track.
I love the way Frank said that in such a smug fashion, like, it uses batteries, when very clearly we all know. there was a plug.
How
earlier
great was
this morning.
Frank coming on set earlier?
Oh, the Becky
But
Lynch.
we still managed to keep him off the camera. The mysteriousness of
Oh, is that
Frank.
true?
Oh man,
I was
there
wondering.
was no way he was getting on camera.
You know, it's funny that you say that because, first of all, we're doing the interview and he's talking in, and I don't know if he was trying to be subtle or not, talking into the headset, but he's like, "We're gonna come in right now, and we're going to please acknowledge." I was like, "Just come in." At that point, just come. Like, what do you think I'm gonna do? Stop the show if you walk in? Just
No, they wanted to make sure that. I mean, you didn't have your headphones on, so it was.
so just come in.
Thanks,
What am I gonna say?
Connor.
What am I gonna say? No, please don't fix her microphone. Let's have this be like that Masvidal interview where you can't understand what anyone's saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Frank got heavy praise for it. I mean, he was the man. He saved the
He did
interview.
save the interview. It would have been all for naught. Just for the record, in the future, you can come in. You don't have to wait for me, you know.
Thanks, Aaron.
We'll knock twice. We'll knock twice next time.
Knock 3 times. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want. So are you done?
That's it, man.
That's it. All right.
4 singles, 2 parlays.
Good luck. DraftKings, let us
Godspeed.
know. Send us a message, DM,
Send me
a
an air
reply. Send you an air fryer.
I'm still
But just
pan frying everything.
no, because it would be cool if it's like this is the GC, you know, pick of the week, the MMA hour pick of the week. By the way, speaking of DMs, I got a big time DM from the Buffalo Bills yesterday.
Oh, I saw that.
Actual.
Everything was coming up
It-
at
it
one. You
was
got
like-
the shoes, you got the bills,
I
you
got
did the
yes,
presser.
it was wild. Sitting down with Paul Heyman, I mean, it was just a crazy day. But that one meant the most because I've had this long running feud with the Bills where they don't acknowledge me for whatever reason. This might be a theme in my life where I feel like people aren't acknowledging me, people's main event. And they're like, "Oh, we haven't been ignoring you. We didn't see," which, by the way, I've been tagging them and everything. Like, there's no way. But I called them out and with my guy, Kevin Clark, and they finally acknowledged me. So they said they're very happy that I'm a fan since 1990. And I don't know why. It's just a social media guy writing to me, but it felt good. It felt like Jim
It's
Kelly.
the bills. It's the bills.
Yeah.
That's all you got to
It felt like Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly, Bruce Smith were all writing to me at the same time.
It's the bills,
Yeah.
yeah. That's how you got to look at it. I watched a little bit of the press conference. I saw you put the
What'd you think of
female
that?
boxer. I saw you put her right on the spot.
I did.
Yeah, she had to make the
You
pick.
had to make the picture. Went with the Brooklyn guy, Darren Williams. I mean, here I am up there. Look, you want me to sit in the crowd and ask questions? You want me to host a press conference? That's called being a utility player. It's like the great Mike Mordecai back in the day. 5 tools, Craig Counsell. You want me to pinch hit? You want me to run the bases? You want me to go in the field? I'll do it all, you know?